Hi, my name is Greg Hewitt. I'm the community lead for Plastic Free Chesterfield. We're a campaign group working to reduce single-use plastic in Chesterfield, along with 700 groups all over the country trying to do the same. We just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been litter picking throughout the pandemic and everyone who plans to litter pick throughout the rest of the year and going forwards. This is an email to say litter picking is such an important task, and we really appreciate everyone who dedicates their time to go out and clean up litter, because any litter that is picked up from Chesterfield is litter that is prevented from getting into our rivers and streams and therefore the oceans. So a huge thank you to everyone who has been helping to avoid that from happening. However, we realise that litter picking is always a huge challenge because the plastic just keeps on coming back. So, and this is what we're hearing from a lot of people who are litter picking, is that, continuously going back to pick up the litter is an ongoing task, and there will always be more and more litter. So what we're recommending everyone to do who's wanting to litter pick is to carry out a litter survey, which is something that takes place all over the world. And this is really, really important to do, because what it does about quantifying what litter there is. And this data that is collected from what litter you find on your litter picks, it provides vital evidence that charities such as Surfers Against Sewage and Marine Conservation Society can use when they lobby the government at a local, national or international level. And that data that's collected from that litter pick is data that people, that our politicians are listening to, and they make their decisions based upon when they're changing the laws to reduce the amount of plastic. Because governments aren't going to make laws to change unless there is a good evidence base to do so. Evidence of examples of this are the 5p plastic bag charge we've seen, a ban on microbeads and cosmetics, and the ban on straws and stirrers and cotton buds. And it's important to work collectively all over the world to be able to collect this data. And there's a methodology that is used throughout that, and that is all about choosing a 100-meter stretch, pacing it out and collecting all the litter and writing down what you find. Now, Surfers Against Sewage and Marine Conservation Society have the tools that you need to be able to carry out this, if you'd like to carry this out. But this is something that we really feel that we would love to see you doing in Chesterfield, to be able to kind of take part of this global survey, to be able to put the pressure on our governments to be able to reduce single-use plastics. And I'm just going to show you something now from a tool that you might be able to use to help you do this. It's called the Debris Tracker. So if you bear with me a second, I'm just going to share my screen and I'll show you just about what this is.
I fell in love with the study of solid waste because it so closely involves people. Every day we decide what to buy, what to consume, and then we have to choose if we're going to recycle something, compost something, or put it in the trash. Unfortunately, some of our items still end up in the environment. Every minute, the equivalent of a dump truck worth of plastic enters our oceans.
As researchers, we study plastic pollution all around the world, and this is a global problem. But I think there's this tendency to think of it as something that's far away and far removed from us. But there's nowhere on the planet that's not touched by the water cycle. So plastic pollution can start right in our own backyards. But so can the solutions. Scientists need data on what's ending up in the environment so that we can use that data to inform upstream solutions. But they can't collect this data without your help.
The first iteration of Marine Debris Tracker was actually on a personal digital assistant. My students went out and collected litter items with exact GPS coordinates, and we could look at the distribution and change of litter on a coastline over time. When smartphones came out, it became possible to collect this type of data on a wider scale, and so we thought there should be an app for that.
Debris Tracker is an open data citizen science movement. We're committed to sharing our data because we believe this problem will be solved more quickly when we work together. When you use the app, the geospatial litter data you collect is uploaded to our publicly accessible database. Scientists, policymakers, educators, or anyone around the world can download and analyze your data to inform their solutions. There's power in numbers, which is why we rely on a community of people just like you to collect this data. The app is free and easy to use, so anyone can become a citizen scientist.
Wherever you are in the world, every piece of data that you collect is a piece of the puzzle illustrating the plastic pollution problem.
So please join our open data citizen science movement by collecting litter in your community today. And help us answer these 3 questions. What is it? How did it get there? And together, what can we do about it?
So that is the Marine Debris Tracker. You can download the app. It is on Marine Debris Tracker. If you look it up, you'll be able to see, and it's it is on debristracker.org. So do go and check it out, and we'd love to hear from you on how you find it. And we realise that when you're litter picking, it can be a challenge and a frustration to be able to ask you to collect data like this. However, we always suggest is perhaps maybe you work together in twos, for example, where one person is litter picking, another person is using the app or using a piece of paper to record down the data that you collect. But as it said in the video, and as I was saying before, it's really important to be able to collect this data so that we can analyze just how much litter there is, and we can use this evidence to put pressure on our politicians who are making laws to change this situation. At the minute, there is currently a bill going through Parliament called the Environment Bill, and there is still an opportunity to be able to influence that. And we really feel that even once the bill is passed, there will still be future laws that we can use to reduce the amount of single-use plastic that has been generated. And we realise that we've really got to keep putting pressure on the manufacturers of these products as well to be able to do something to change. So as well as being able to kind of track what you're doing, we also recommend you take part in the Return to Offender campaign. And this is something really easy that you can do as well. So what you can do, this is, I will show you now, this is on Twitter. So head to Twitter. So when you're doing your litter pick, what you need to do is you need to look at finding any branded litter. And when you're out and about, so any brand that you come across. So for example, this person, Kirsten, she's found on her litter pick some Coca-Cola bottles and some cans. And what she's done is she's saying, hey, Coca-Cola, you need to do more about your litter out, and you need to reduce your single-use plastic. And so what she's done is she's written a tweet, she's put a picture in of the bottle that she's found, and she's tagged in Coca-Cola on Twitter. She's used the hashtag Return to Offender. And, you know, the more people who do this, the better. Because here we go, here's another Plastic Free group. Plastic Free have found a Snickers wrapper, and they've tweeted Snickers and Mars. Tweet, please help to find a solution for the plastic waste that your products produce. Return to Offender. Here's another one as well. Volvic, is this yours? We need to do something about this issue of branded plastic, and the amount of plastic pollution that is being found in our environment. So all you need to do is take a picture of any branded litter that you find, head to Twitter, get a Twitter account, it's free to set one up if you haven't got one, and then tweet at the brand, here we go, at Volvic, we've had enough of your single-use plastic pollution bottles. So please do something about. And the more people who do that, the better. And the more we can really put pressure on these big manufacturers to do something. So there we go with a couple of solutions that you can do when you're out on your litter picking. We understand that this, is a slight commitment issue, and being able to take on these additional tasks. However, it can make a huge difference because we can put the pressure on the governments, on these plastic manufacturers to do something to reduce our single-use plastic pollution issue. We realise that you tirelessly go out and about across our streets and parks, tirelessly working hard, dedicating your time to pick up this litter and bag it and do something about it because you don't want to see it in our environment. And that is why we say thank you so much for doing what you're doing. However, this, as we said at the beginning of this will still be an issue. This will continue to be an issue. It will keep coming back and it will keep coming back until we really start to tackle the problem head on. And so there are a number of things you can do. Download the Marine Tracker app, take the return to offender action, and let us know how you get on. And we'd love to hear from you at Plastic Free Chesterfield. Feel free to tag us in on Plastic Free Chesterfield on social media and let us know how you get on. But thank you so much again for all you do, and let's look forward to a clean, green, plastic-free Chesterfield.